Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to the radio shop and what I'm going to call probably the week of hell. And the reason for that is that we have multiple Kenwood transceivers in for repair. I actually have two 940S transceivers in from one guy, and I'm working on two 930s. One that was hit by lightning that has really been giving me a fit, and I've been working on it for the past week. But this particular one, the owner says that it's got transmit but receive is gone, and I figured we'd go ahead and start with this one since it's just a receiver problem and see exactly what we can find and see what's going on. Okay, I just wanted to verify what he was saying, and I have the radio on 14.250. Everything is set nominal, you know, nothing funny being turned on. Everything should be just about in the right position. RF gain's wide open, and we'll got our signal generator set. Start out at about minus 85 dBm, 1 kilohertz tone into the radio. So we'll switch the turn the volume up, switch on the RF. We can barely hear it in the receiver. Turn the modulation on. I'm barely hearing it. I don't know how it's sounding on the radio or on the camera, but it's there. Let's change the level a little bit. That's about minus 80 dBm. No deflection on the meter. Let's turn the RF gain down. Right, that's working. And we'll go to the attenuator next, and we'll just go through the attenuator. 10 dB, absolutely no receive at all. 20 dB down, we do have receive. 30 dB down, we have no receive. You can see there's very little change between 20 and 0. Alright, we'll turn the signal generator off. And I keep the signal generator turned off, and I'm not using it to keep from the trials expiring on it. And maybe one day we'll go in and we'll do a little modification on that, but we'll see. You know, seeing this brings back some memories that I had before on some of these. Since the guy said that both radios went out, the one he had and the one his son has, and I'm taking it they don't live too far apart, it really makes me think that we had a problem with some electrical storms or something. But we're going to verify this. We're going to go ahead and remove the top and bottom cover, and we're going to go straight to the RF unit and have a look at that. Okay, we have the bottom cover off and the top cover, and I have the radio sitting up on its side so we can go ahead and look at the bottom cover. And this is our RF board here. That's or RF unit, if you want to call it that. We can see here at the back that all antenna connectors here And I'm already seeing the first problem with this unit. It just may verify what I'm saying. And you see Kenwood uses this glass lamp from the center conductor of the SO239 to ground, and you can see how black it is. Now this is a gas charged lamp that's used as a lightning arrestor, if you will, in order to absorb any static electricity that comes in from the line. Seeing that it's already black on the inside, she's done. It's done its job. Now there's not going to be no short there. At least there shouldn't be. And not unless something really went crazy inside that tube. But I'll just go ahead and verify that with the ohm meter here. And all we'll do is just go to center to ground. And I'm reading nothing. So there's nothing there shorted, so that's okay. It's just that bulb will have to be replaced. So this antenna connector comes up and it goes in here to the board, and then it's distributed through the board. And down here at the bottom of this board is a couple of relays. We got RL1 and RL2. That's for the attenuation, since we knew that the the radio was receiving some at 0 dB of attenuation. We went to 10, it did not receive at all. When we went to 20, it started receiving again. So that tells me there is a problem in this relay circuit. And I'm seeing something here on the camera. I can't see it looking at the board, but looking in the camera viewfinder, I see two of them now. I mean, just looking right here, you see that resistor right here, and that resistor. The top one is completely charred, and the next one has a burnt spot right in the middle of it. So, I mean, right here, not even 4 minutes into the video, we're already seeing some massive problems. I mean, this is basically without even even checking anything, just going in. We know we got a receiver problem, so the first thing you do is go to the beginning of the receiver and start working your way in, and a lot of times you can start seeing things that just ain't right. So there is probably going to be some issues in those relays also. So I think the first thing we need to do is just go ahead and let's pull this board out and have a look at it real closely and see if we can see what else is going on with it. Okay, I've removed all 7 screws out of this RF unit. I've also removed the antenna connector screw and the coax and the TXA coax. Now this should give us enough room. I'll probably go ahead and remove the external antenna connector also. And the way this should give us enough room to drop this board back so we can get to the circuit tray side, so we can go ahead and remove these burnt components and see what else we can find inside this. So I'm going to go ahead and fire up the pasty soldering iron, and we'll go ahead and remove those two burnt resistors, and I may go ahead and remove RL1 here and just take a look at it. So as you can see here, we have RL1 and that's RL3. Here's the cores for RL1 and R2. And I'm probably thinking that it looks like we got R3 that's in series with the circuit, so when the relay kicks in, it will throw the single through R4 to ground. When it's in the closed, we'll go through R3, and the same thing on RL1. We have R1, which is 100K, and R2, which is a 82K. And screensaver wants to kick in. But let's look at the board layout and see if we can determine which resistors these are. Should be somewhere up in this circuit right here. And what we're looking at is the RF unit. I just went ahead and found R1 and R2 in this circuit right to start with. So let's see. That's going to be on page 92. No, page 91, I'm sorry. Okay, here we are on page 91. Okay, that's RL1. Right there, as you can see. That's RL1 right there. And the two resistors, that's R1 and that's R2. So if we'll go back to page 92, R1 is the 100 ohm and R2 is an 82 ohm. And I'm still may be a little concerned about this this relay here. But we're going to go ahead and pull R1 and R2 out and see if we get those replaced. Alright, so again, on the top of the board, right here beside the relay, we got R1 and R2. So if we just flip the board around, look right beside the relay, we're going to see there's R2 and there's R1. Get a little clean on our soldering or desoldering tool. Got to get the foot pedal around here. And working behind the camera again. Get my light so I can see. Alright, I should be able to pull those out of there now. Very hard to grab them, even with the needle nose pliers. So I had a friend of mine stop by last week and worked on a Zenith receiver for him, and he dropped off this nice little pair of needle nose pliers for us. Now it was missing one, so he ordered another whole set, and that was got it. So this is the only one that's left to my original needle nose, tweezers, and you can see it's they're bent, and you know they've been through a hard time, and the reason for that is we do a lot of SMD soldering using these tweezers. So let's see if we can get one here that's going to it might not be sharp enough. Yeah, let's see, that's how tweezers are supposed to work. We'll move these out of the way. Alright, that's one of them out. So I didn't have the camera up there, but there's the other one, so both of them are out. And we'll go ahead. I doubt I have got any this small. Looks like, you know, 1/8 of a watt. There's some small little resistors. I'll look and see what I have there. Well, I have nothing in a 1/8 of an ohm that's even close, or 1/8 of a watt. But I do have some 1/4 watts, and luckily I have some 1/4 watt 82 ohm resistors, so I find that very interesting. So we'll get this. We'll just have to stand them up. Won't be able to lay them down like they were in the small ones. Get the 100 ohm in there. Guys, yesterday it was like 97 degrees here in the Carolinas. It was very, very, very hot. And it's not much difference today. It seems like all I can do lately is mow grass. I think the high day is supposed to be like 94. with a real feel of like 110. But it's nice and cool inside the shop. About 74 degrees in here. Okay. Alright, let me get the camera repositioned. Okay, we got the board mounted back in. We'll get our little coaxius hooked back up here. I got a couple screws holding the board in. Turn the radio on. 14.250. Turn the volume up. Turn our signal generator back on. We'll go ahead and look at the S meter right to start with to see if we get any change. Again, minus 80 dBm. And as you can see, we're up to about a S8 with minus 80 dBm. Now let's see what our attenuator does. We'll turn the attenuator to 10 dB. And we dropped. And 20 we dropped more. And on 30 we bottomed all the way out. Okay, now our attenuator's working and we do have a pretty decent signal. Still not what it should be. Work with a level and I'll turn the level up. That's at minus 90 dBm. That's a minus 100 dBm. And I lose the signal at about minus 104. Yep, that made a big improvement on the receiver. We just might need to go in and check a few more things here. I'm thinking our next step is that we probably need to have a look at this relay. The receiver's still not up to where it's supposed to be. And if we look at our schematic, you can see that R1, which was burnt kind of heavily, you know, is right across this. So that means that this switch was side of the relay was over on this side, and it took both R1 and R2 out. So you really have to question the health of that contact on that relay. You know, that's going to be the next week's in that circuit. And the problem could be is that that relay could be carboned over so badly that it's knocking the receiver down some. So we're going to go ahead and pour that relay and take it apart and see can't we get a look at it. Alright, I got that little tiny relay out of there. And let's see can't we get it opened up. Have a look at it. Thing is so tiny. I'll try to focus in without going blurry on you. As you can see right here, this is our contact on this side, and the unit moves over like this. So what I'm going to do is wet a piece of paper with contact cleaner, open it up and put it between it, and see if I can clean those contacts a little bit. I'll probably get out of frame, so bear with me. This thing is so small. By the time I get in there, my cleaner's drying up on me. Now you can see on the paper the black marks. That's where the two contacts are rubbing through it. There's no real easy way of doing this on camera for you, so. Right. We'll just have to stick them back in there and see what they do. So, you know, after cleaning the relays and replacing the resistors, we put the unit back in, and we still, you know, we got better received than what we had, but we still don't have the gain to the stage that we really need. So I'm going to take a look at something right here and show you something else I found. So looking here from RXA input, it goes through this relay, and you see it snakes around and goes to this terminal right here just outside the relay. And I'm sitting there doing some continuity checks, and I found something that was a little interesting. So we're looking here at this board, and right here is RXA, and it snakes around and comes around here and comes to this terminal. When I take my voltmeter and continuity test, I'll go here, I'll go to the first pad, and we have a signal there. But when we come here to this pad, there's nothing at all right there. And I look right here, I can see a little spot. And let me see if I can get the camera focused on that just a little better. Can't really get it no closer without going to the microscope, but we're not going to do that. But this trace is actually broken right there, and there was some carbon on it. Now when I soldered this up, I had cleaned the board with isopropyl alcohol, so it took the carbon off of it, but I think it's blowed that trace in two right there. So what I'm going to do, I've got to get underneath the magnifying light so I can see it. Come right here and remove a little bit of this trace here, or coating on the trace. And we want to tin this and see if we can't join it back together. We got to let this soldering iron warm up, so give me just a minute. Alright, I'll reposition the board and we'll put a little flux up here. And we see, can't we bridge this back over across it. Maybe that'll be enough. Alright, so there we go. And we have continuity across there. Get that flux off, and we'll put it back in the radio and see what it does. Okay, the board's all reinstalled, and if you remember before we was listening, we had no S-meter deflection at all, so we'll turn the radio on and see what we get now.
K4 Romeo Fox, what's your name and transceiver? Over. Is that all right?
Alright. As you can see, we now have our receiver back, which is a good thing. So now we can hook a signal generator up and see just how well it is receiving. Okay, we on 14.250 FM. I have our IFR set up to generate a 1 kilohertz tone, and I got it set for 0.5 microvolts. Turn the volume up a little bit. It's going to get a little bit noisy. And there we are. We can hear the tone in the radio. If I'll drop it down, it's about 0.2 microvolts, and I'm still hearing the receiver. And about 0.15 microvolts. We still have a signal in the radio. It's about a minus 110 dBm. It's minus 80 dBm. And about minus 85 dBm we have a S9 on the meter. So the radio is now back up and running. And I've got to go ahead and order a couple of those lightning arresters tubes to go in there, and I might go ahead and order some new relays for this. I think I found a source for some new relays that'll be a direct swap out for these, so I'm gonna go ahead and order a dozen of those just to have them in stock. But as you can see, it wasn't too hard to figure out what was going on. I've already checked the transmitter. The transmitter's fine. Just the receiver was down. So yeah, quick, easy, and dirty. Nothing to it. A lot of times, again, go in and look and see if you see anything that looks out of place. We know we had a receiver problem, so we just went straight to the RF board in there and we started hunting and looking, and without using a lot of test equipment, you know, the problems just come right up and surface without even doing a whole lot of testing. And then sometimes that's all you have to do is you know, you can get all the test equipment you want, but using your senses that you were given is sometimes your best test equipment. So I hope you enjoyed the video. It was easy, quick, short, not a whole lot to it. And leave your comments down below. Click the show more tab, follow the links. I'll leave a link on my website if you want to discuss this. Contact information down below, and also Patreon support down below. Anyway, we'll see you in the next video. We got plenty more to do. See you now.